For any artist, there's a ton of things that go on behind the scenes, and I thought it'd be fun to let you in on a few of my secrets. If you're new here, I'm Katie. I'm a self-proclaimed craftaholic, and on this channel I sometimes do random crafts, but mostly bring you along for my hand embroidery journey. I design hand embroidery templates and patterns in my free time, and I sell digital downloads online. My store link will be in the description. The nexus of this video originated a few weeks ago when I polled you, my YouTube channel subscriber, to see what I should create and embroider next. The majority of the votes were to embroider more cats, and I was actually a little surprised at this because I've made a few videos about cat embroidery already, but I'm happy to make more cat embroidery because, let's be real, I'm definitely a cat lady. Okay, so the first thing I do when I'm starting a new project is I gather a lot of ideas and inspiration. I usually start by looking through my photos and choose a few that flow well with one another and speak to me somehow. Once I've gone through my own photos for reference and inspiration, I turn to Pinterest and make a collage. I'm obsessed with the collage feature and making inspiration collages. It just helps me focus in on a mood or a feeling I'm going for during the exploratory process. When I'm satisfied with a few collages and my reference pictures, I like to do a digital sketch on my iPad in Procreate. I turn the stabilization way down so that my sketch is really atrocious looking. That's just me putting my pen to paper and doodling. After doodling, I either do a more refined freehand drawing or I import one of my reference pictures as a layer into Procreate and then I trace over it on a separate layer. This is a satisfying way that allows me to get all the proportions just right. I'm not great at cartooning or depth perception, so this helps me get all the appendages and eyes in the right spots. For embroidery templates, what I really need is the general shape of the subject and a few key attributes like the ears, the eyes, the paws, and the tail in the case of a cat. Sometimes I'll add an extra squiggle line to show that this is an especially fuzzy section or if its area needs a shadow. To do this, I trace over the outline of the subject, not worrying about individual hairs or details. Simple is better here, as the detail in embroidery projects comes from the floss and the stitching. When I'm satisfied with the line drawings, I airdrop all of those over to my computer as PNGs and then I upload it into Canva. I have Canva Pro because I use it for both this and my other business, so I just pay up front the yearly cost and it's a little bit cheaper that way, but you can always play around with the free version. I open up a 8.5 by 11 blank sheet and then I resize and organize all the PNG files, however I want them. And because I know the size of the paper, I can size the drawings appropriately for printing and hand embroidering. Because the majority of my embroidery templates I design are small, usually between 2 and 4 inches, I try to fit as many templates as I can on one regular size printer sheet. To me, this saves valuable water-soluble paper stabilizer, which I'm always trying to be conscientious of because I want to create as little waste as possible. I'm also thinking of people that may want to purchase these templates in the future. The more templates I can fit onto a single 8.5 by 11 sheet, the more value I can provide. Once I'm satisfied with the layout, I like to do a test print on regular paper as a physical proof to make sure that I got all the dimensions right. Then I print it on the water-soluble paper stabilizer. For the majority of the projects you see here on my channel, I use this sticky water-soluble paper stabilizer by Craftito. I'm not sponsored by Craftito, I just absolutely love this product, and in my opinion, it's the best method for transferring printable patterns onto fabric. It's super easy to use, and you just follow the directions on the packaging. After printing the template onto the paper stabilizer, it's time to cut away all the excess stabilizer and ready each template for a separate project. I like to keep all my cutout templates in one teacup on my embroidering stand. This storage method allows me to easily store templates in one place and makes it easy for me to access when I'm looking for a new project to start. Admittedly, I've got about 20 different templates in the queue to embroider right now, and I may never get to some of them, but I'm a work in progress. Out of all the cat-themed templates I've created in this series, my absolute favorite is the chubby loafing cat. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. I'm going to embroider this one first. Since this video is getting a little long, I'm not going to go over the details of setting up your hand embroidery project, but if you'd like to know more about this process, you should check out this video here, where I go into detail about necessary tools, transferring templates, and setting up your hoop. But I do want to speak more about fabric and floss colors. Picking out fabric and colors is probably one of my favorite parts of the whole process. I frequent my local secondhand store pretty regularly and am fortunate that there's a really good craft section that's consistently restocked. There's always new fabric, embroidery hoops, and sometimes even DMC floss. I typically buy packs of scrap fabric from 75 cents to $1 for larger pieces, which is usually a yard or two. Needless to say, I've got a decent stash of fabric to choose from. For this particular piece, I'm trying to keep it somewhat realistic looking and basing it off of my orange tabby bangle spice. I decided on a purple fabric for the top and just a loose weave neutral white for the back because I already had a piece of that cut and ironed. I'm really hoping that the purple makes the orange floss pop out more. For the floss, I need a range of colors including pink for the nose, white and orange for the fur, and maybe even a few browns for the shadows. After picking out the fabric, floss, and setting up my embroidery station, I get to work embroidering. I like to start with the lighter colors first, and then I build color and contrast from there. So here I started with the nose, and then I moved on to the white, and then after the white I chose a cream color. I'm pretty loosely stitching here, but the main thing I pay attention to is the direction of the stitches. I'm aiming to have the stitches mimic the cat fur, so I need the fur on the cheeks to move out and away from the nose, while the fur on the nose moves up towards the crown of the head. Then I just keep filling in and embroidering more, making layers and adding more colors. I've increased the speed here to about 5x so that you don't have to sit here and watch the grass grow. But I think you may get the idea here that it's an incredibly slow process, building up the colors and texture one stitch at a time. I'm going to keep stitching away here and let the music play for the rest of the video. If you liked this, I'd love it if you let me know. Leave a comment, like, subscribe, and stay tuned because I've got lots more cat embroidery on the way. Thanks so much for watching, and remember, done is better than perfect.